This is Rami Hamady fan for Life Financial Society, and I came on here today just to give you guys a few in-home tips on how to best succeed with your in-home presentation. The first thing you guys want to do is when you go into the home, you want to be yourself. You want to make sure that no matter what, at all times, you're being completely honest and upfront with your client. What that can mean, it can mean many things, which can be one, being brutally honest with the client. You want to make sure you preface to the client, do I have permission, guys, to be as brutally honest as possible throughout this whole conversation? What that does, it's going to open the door of many possibilities. One, it's going to allow you to speak your piece, speak your mind. If you feel like the client is not making sense, if you feel like the family is not understanding you, this will give you let's say, the doorway to say what you need to say, hey Bob, seems like you're not on the same page with me today. Explain to me where I went wrong. Where did I lose you? How do you not feel you need this coverage today? Because I do know Bob, if Mary, if Bob passed away, that you're not going to be able to live in this house anymore. You're not going to be able to bury your husband. Is it fair to say that without this insurance in place, you're going to experience that financial burden? If I'm not direct, guys, I don't have the opportunity to be that direct with my client, I'm just going to sit there and say, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe you don't need the insurance. But if I train myself to be direct and forthright with my client, there's no way you're going to leave that home without protecting that family, because you understand that they truly, truly need it. Another tip I want to leave you guys with is you want to learn how to ask questions and how to find things out by asking questions. What that means is, it just means basically saying, like I just did, okay, Bob and Mary, which one of you today, who makes the most income? Bob can answer that question. Okay, Bob, you bring in 100% of the income? Yes, sir. Is it fair to say, Bob, that if you passed away yesterday, Mary is not going to be able to maintain the mortgage today? That's fair to say. Is it fair to say that Mary can't live her day-to-day life because she now lost all of her income? So therefore, her expenses just jumped 100% and her income decreased 100%? Is that fair to say, sir? Yes, it is. Now, is it fair to say with her losing that income, she's going to have to move out of the house? She's going to have to work double hours. She's going to have to pick up an extra shift, work 2 jobs. Is that fair to say? Yeah. Is it fair to say that her being a 64, 65-year-old woman, that's not that logical? That's not reasonable? That she's not going to be able to maintain that workload? Okay. Is it fair to say, sir, that you need this insurance put in place today because you want to make sure if anything ever happens to you, your wife Mary is going to be okay? Yeah, I do. All I did there was I painted his picture by asking questions. Now, of course, when they're a little bit older, they may have things put in place to help them. It's okay. You just want to reiterate and explain to them, okay, now do you guys have a 401k, have an IRA? Do you understand how those things works, guys? Do you understand how long it will take for this to transfer over? Do you know how long it will take to make it through probate? Do you know how long it's going to take to figure out your bills? Do you know how long it's going to take to bury your husband, to bury your wife, to bury your son, bury your loved one? If you ask these questions, they're going to understand where you're coming from. They're going to know that you're truly caring about that family. There's nothing that you're going to say in the home that's going to make them think otherwise. If you do not ask questions and you just go through your inventory, but just by asking the questions on the piece of paper, how much do you make? What's your rent? What's your health? What's your medications? It's a transaction. It's a sales. You're not truly assessing the situation. So another tip I would say is assess the need. Actually take time to not just go through your inventory, but truly see if they need the insurance. If you're sitting down with a family who needs their final expenses taken care of, but they already have two $20,000 whole life policies that they're paying basically $20 a month for that they got 10 years ago, then you're not there for final expenses anymore. That's covered. That's taken care of. Maybe you can help consolidate or add coverage, explain that, hey guys, maybe we can take some of the cash value you've built in, take some of this, make it more insurance, strengthen your position. But if you don't assess it and maybe they don't need it, then you leave. Go on to the next family. Because I promise you guys, you don't want to sit in home and waste time on a family that does not need the protection. Because it does not matter how good you are, doesn't matter how much, how well you explain the product, how well you break down their situation. If they have that already covered, it does not matter. If someone has their final expenses taken care of, you are no longer their final expenses. You may be there now to leverage their legacy for their family. You may be there to kind of strengthen your position and make sure that the kids can make it through college. That if the kids ever need money, they're going to be able to do that. Maybe it's an annuity. Last thing I'm gonna leave you guys with this. When you're running final expense primarily, you wanna ask these three things. Guys, most families fill this form out for one of three reasons. They either have no insurance and they need some, they already have insurance, they need a little bit more to strengthen their position for their family, or they want to check to see if they can get put into a better rate class. Now, which one are you? They're going to lead and guide you. They're going to tell you. Just like we lead and guide our client, they have to lead and guide us. The only way for that to happen is by asking the appropriate questions. When you ask the appropriate questions the right way, they're going to lead and guide you with a doctor-patient mindset. By the end of your presentation, they're going to sit and ask you, okay, what do you recommend I do? How do I take care of this problem that you just presented? But if I do not present the problem, if I do not take the time to actually assess their situation and see what they need, I'm just going to find a product that fits their health and their age. But that's not what I'm there for. I'm there to find a product that fits their age, their health, their budget, but most importantly, their needs. So if the last thing I can leave you guys with is truly look out for the family's needs. When you're in the home, only show them what they need. Give them three options, but don't show them three options that they don't need. If they have a mortgage that's $200,000, don't go there showing 500, 300, 200. No, you can show the full payoff, half payoff, partial payoff, etc. Okay, so you guys really just want to make sure that that's how you guys are taking care of it, and just go out there and help those families, guys. All right. If you guys need any help to reach me, please feel free to find me on Instagram, Rami.Hamady, or Family First Life Financial Society, FFL Financial Society. Take care, guys.